Hi there, my name is Raquel, and thank you to all new and returning viewers for coming to check me out today. Today is Sunday, June 11th. It's roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon as I'm filming this. Sorry if I'm looking the other way, but I got a new toy for Soot, and he's enjoying playing with it. He was alone all day yesterday and part of this morning, so he is needing some attention. So I'm just going to put this down and let him play with it by himself. So yeah, yesterday was Worldwide Knitting Public Day. I went to Famalicão and we were at the Textile Museum, and it was a really nice day. We were in one of the back rooms, which was fine, but still the museum is open on Saturdays during the afternoon, and there were several tourists that came by, and they were shown the back room where we were sitting, and yeah, it was really nice. Just a really nice day, and like with friends and knitting, and yeah, we got to have a tour of the museum. We went. As you walk into the museum, to get to the back room, you have to walk through the museum anyway, so we'd already seen all the machines, but we got an actual tour and explanation of what the machines were, how they came to be there, how the industry like came about in Portugal, in that area in Famalicão, close to the Rio Ave. And all about the Industrial Revolution and what it did to in terms of machinery. So the museum has several pieces, like really old manual pieces, and then the, shall we call it, the next generation up with steam machinery, and then some newer and more modern machines as well. And some of them are still working. Others, because they're so old, they do still work, but they only put them to work on special occasions. But it was interesting to see some of the machines working, and yeah, we had a nice time. Several people managed to film some things of the machinery working, so I'll see if I can find the links and I'll put them in the show notes. I just took some photos, so I'll add some of them at the end of the podcast. So let's get on to the knitting, and the sock blocker is over there, but I won't need it. So I did finish my socks. I ended up, yeah, these were by far the ones that took me the longest to make. I managed to make one pair of socks out of just one ball of yarn of each color, and this is what I have left of the yarn. So I have 1 gram of the red, which was the main color, and then I believe I have about 7 grams left of this gray, and I still have to unravel this one over here. So here are the 2 socks, and I'm really happy with them. You can totally see the pattern, even up close you can see the pattern. And I ended up, I think I mentioned this last week, but I ended up ripping out the original one, which was here. Because I'd started going on to the 225 millimeters, and that was just too small. But now, having done the whole thing on 2.5 millimeters, the foot looks narrow, but it fits just fine. Especially here in the stranded section, it looks narrow. Because I am out of the running for the competition of Sock Madness, I am allowed to modify the patterns as I see fit. So in terms of toe, I did my own toe. I did a regular wedge, a rounded wedge toe that I usually do. And yeah, but I really like the construction of this sock, and the mosaic knitting does take a lot longer because every row you're knitting it twice basically. So it does take a lot longer. So yeah, it was a shame I'm no longer in the competition, but yeah. The pattern for round 6 has come out, but I'm not making them. They're not really, they're intarsia, and I probably will make them at some point, but not right now. The pattern for round 7, which is the final round, will become available in a couple of hours. I don't know if I'm going to get that pattern or not straight away, but if not, I'll get it at the end of the competition, which should be in a week's time, more or less. So at that point, I'll get all the other patterns that I haven't received yet as well. And yeah, so I have more socks to make. A couple of the socks I've made so far during Sock Madness, I will want to repeat because I really enjoyed knitting them. And but just in different colors and maybe different yarns. So yeah, the only other thing, I was supposed to make some bags, some project bags, and I managed to make 3 because things just weren't working out. I mean, I was using my mom's machine, which is identical to the one I have, because mine stopped working last week, Saturday. So I started using my mom's machine, and it works fine. It's not a problem with the machine. It's just a problem with the combination of the fabrics I was using and the thread I was using. The thread I was using was not suitable for the machine. It just didn't want to run through the machine. I don't know if it was too thick maybe, or because it's coated in some sort of wax. The machine just wasn't liking it. It was constantly getting stuck in the machine, so I had to switch out and just use my regular cotton yarn that I usually use. And then the fabrics I was using, they're a lot thinner than I'm used to, so they're not quite quilting fabric, they're more quilts fabric. So I'm going to have to put backing on them, which is something I didn't want to do. I have to put some interfacing on them, but that's the only way I'm going to be able to make the rest of the bags. So I will be doing that over the next couple of weeks, and I already told Angela that as soon as I have some, I'll give them to her to put in the shop. Yeah, so I did sell a couple of stitch markers yesterday, and I left the rest with Angela and her shop. So if you want them, contact me and I'll let her know. Otherwise I can make some more because I still have some to make anyway. So yeah, because I wasn't having any success with making the bags, I decided to start on one of the shawls that I wanted to make, and that's the Hohi Locatelli Starting Point Mystery Cal. It's no longer a mystery because the 5th clue came out last week Friday, but I'm doing them as per clue. Now I've only started one side. I do still have to do the other side. Okay, so it's wandered off somewhere. I was hearing some noise, so he's off somewhere. Hang on just a sec. Okay, I'm back. He was scratching at some cardboard I have in the hallway, which is fine. It's there for him to scratch anyway, so. And he's back to playing with his new toy, which he seems to like. Although, the idea is for him to catch the fish. He just wants the elastic that the fish are attached to, or the stick. And you just saw him walk by. So, anyway. I was talking about the Hohi Locatelli Mystery Cal that I was making. It's just pounced and attacked and moved the camera. Sorry about that. It's funny to see him really pounce and attack something. Anyway, back to the shawl. This is the first part. I still need to make the second part of this, but I thought, you know, I'll just do clue 1 to 4 on the one side, and then do clue 1 to 4 on the other side, and then attach them, keeping track of yarn, of course. So yeah, I'll show you the skeins in a minute, but this is what I got so far. I have just finished clue 3, sorry. From this stitch marker to this stitch marker here, this is what I did yesterday, and then from here to here is what I did this morning while I was out with a friend. So yeah, I've just finished. That's the end of clue 3, so I can start on clue 4 now, and this is it so far, and I'm really liking it. I thought initially, from just having read the clues and everything, it was going to be quite narrow, but it isn't. And you know, because I have it on a small cable, I can't really stretch it out. I thought it was going to be quite narrow, but once it started to grow, it isn't. It's a good like 60 centimeters, maybe more across. Let's see, this way. So and I can block it out quite a lot. What I'm going to do is finish clue 4, hopefully today, and then I'm going to weave in all these loose ends, and then start on clue 1 to 4 for the other side. So what I'm using, Mrs. Robinson's Starlight, and this is all yarn that I bought on the 1st of April this year at Van Guilhem from Monica. I did not buy them with this in mind. I did buy them, I bought these 4 to make into something together. I was thinking maybe a sweater, but then this cowl came along and I thought it'd be perfect to use 5 of the 6 skeins that I bought. I had initially decided to use a different one for this one, but I put up like a couple of photos with the 2 combinations I had, and even though a lot of people liked the first combination, which is with a yarn that I ended up not using, Hohi commented saying that that one might be too busy and that it would be better to use this one as my color 3, which is what I've done, and I'm quite happy I did. The only reason I didn't initially want to do that is because, as you can see, they're quite similar. There are differences in the balls. This one's grayer and just tones of blue, and this one has like, as you can see, it has greens and some purples in there as well. This one's just like mostly blues, and it's like slightly a grayer tone, but because they do join, they do touch in certain places of the shawl, I thought they'd be too alike to not notice any difference. You can't see the difference, it's subtle, but I'm fine with that. So they don't have color names. Okay, this is my color 1, so this is like the light gray blue one. Then my color 2 is the pink one, and then my color 3 is this one, which is like the one similar to the first one, and then color 4 is this navy color, and then color 5 is the turquoise. And if you have the pattern, it tells you specifically what kind of colors to go for. So a light, a dark, a contrast, like a really pop of color, and then like a contrast in the speckled and stuff like that. So those are my 5 colors, and this is how they're working out so far. And now in clue 4, I know I'm gonna repeat this lace section, and be repeating, I believe, this blue stripe here. I'm going to be repeating at the top as well, but like wider. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm hoping, like I said, to start and finish clue 4 today, this afternoon, after I've edited the podcast and the photos I took yesterday. So yeah, other than being worldwide knits in public yesterday, I got a whole bunch of gifts because it was my birthday yesterday. So although I did not mention that to anyone because it was all about the worldwide knits in public day, not about my birthday. I just enjoyed being with friends and everything. One more thing about yesterday, we did get like a little booklet. This is with all the museums in Famalicão. They had added some other extra things, and it was open to the page of the museum we were at. Let's see if you can see. For instance, I'll add photos in at the end, but these are some of the machines that we saw. Let's see this one here. So that's the outside of the building, and there you can see some of the machines. I'll add in the photos I took. And then we got a little calendar and as a bookmark as well, and yeah, just some other information, because here in Portugal there's a lot of saints that are like patron saints of the city, and basically towards the end of May, from the end of May to September, basically there's like a patron saint, and it turns to be a public holiday for that municipality. For Porto, it's on the 24th of June, and that's São João, Saint John. For Lisbon, it's on the 13th of June, Sant Antonio, Saint Anthony, and in Famalicão, Sant Antonio is also their patron saint. And so usually the partying starts a couple of days before and ends on the day of the patron saint. For where I live, it's already been. It was like at the end of May, last week of May, then straight away it's like the one from Matosinhos. So the party moves from here to Matosinhos, which is like across the street basically. And one of the things that they do here with all these municipal parties is so there's like a fairground and all that kind of thing, and then they close off certain roads, and you can like there's like a whole bunch of tents where you can like buy all sorts of things. And Matosinhos, because it's larger, they have all sorts of artisan things. You know, people go and sell their wares there. One of the things that they do that they like to do is have fireworks. And for the last couple of weeks, the dogs aren't with me today because I was out the whole day, so they're at my parents' place. But and I haven't heard any fireworks today because I guess it's like there's none around in the area here. But when they were here, it was like from Saturday to Sunday and Sunday to Monday, basically the whole weekend. Come midnight, it was like 20 minutes of fireworks. And in the weekend, I go out more or less around midnight with the dogs as the final walk. And I'd forgotten about the parties. And I got outside just before midnight, and I'm halfway through the walk, and the fireworks start. And both Dakota and Dakota freaks out completely. Rusty just starts barking like a mad dog. That's here because when they're at my parents' place, because it's more wide open and not so enclosed and everything, they don't react at all. But here, they totally react. So it was 2 weekends in a row that I completely forgot about it, and then it's like, but why the fireworks? And then I remembered. Anyway, so I had some lovely gifts, received some lovely gifts from people. I got this cute little book made by Christina. She makes these. I think she has a page on Facebook. If not, I'll just link to her anyway. So she had a whole bunch. I think I took a couple of photos so I can see. So it's just a plain notebook in the middle. There's no, and she had a nice little bookmark in here and like a little paper clip in there as well. So, and it's like obviously I had to go for this one because it's a knitting one. So, and it came in a nice little bag. So that was one thing. And then Angela from the Banaguda shop told me to pick something out from what she had there, so I went for a sock blank again. I really like knitting from the sock blanks. I don't know if I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm taking this out because I usually go for the blues, and I was very tempted to go for one of the ones that was there in blue, but when I actually took this one out of the band because it was really messy and I took it out to neaten it up, that's when I was like, well, maybe I'll go for this one because this side is kind of like a leopard print. This side's fairly subtle. Then turn around, there's like a whole bunch of bright colors. So I'm dying to see how this is gonna knit up. And I might just knit the socks one at a time because I just want to enjoy knitting it from the blank instead of winding it all up and knitting two at the same time. So I might actually cast this on next. I don't know. I have a whole bunch of projects I really want to cast on. So another shawl. The friend I was with this morning showed me a nice cowl that it's like it's free pattern. I think it's from the Knitty, from the latest edition of Knitty that I want to go knit now. So yeah, and then so that was yesterday. I already know what I'm getting from my parents. So then the friend I was with this morning, she also gave me some really nice gifts, which was a whole bunch of fabric. So I have to see how much, she said I think there was about maybe a meter of this, so I'm going to have to see how much there is. It came in this nice yellow bag, and then it also came with a nice card, and it's from her and her daughter, and then this lovely soap from Aquarit, which is a local, it's a Portuguese, Portuguese soap maker here in Portugal. And this one's with honey and rosemary. So, and it smells delicious. So for now I'm just going to put it in my yarn cabinet and have it keep my yarn smelling really nice. And then also this skein of abuelita yarn. It's a single ply, and yeah, it's like grays and purples and greens, which is great. So either I'm going to pair it with something else, or I'm just going to use it on its own. We'll see. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. I already talked about yesterday about the World Blindness in Public. This coming week is going to be a really short week. We have public holiday on Thursday. It's Body of Christ public holiday, so it's a Christian public holiday. And then I'm taking Friday off, because why go work for one day when you can have like a 4-day weekend, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort out the craft room once and for all. I want to sort it, and so I can start projects, finish projects, and put everything away neatly, instead of having it piled up everywhere, especially now with the cat, because so even though he behaves himself, I've been sitting there, like, see, I've got the yarn. When the yarn is like this in balls, he doesn't really go for it. Of course, if he sees like the loose string, like here, he will, but I usually tuck this in, so there is no loose string flying, so nicely tucked in. Then he's fine. I can have the bag open and he won't, he'll stick his head in there, but he won't steal anything. So, but any other loose bits of yarn or cables or whatever, he goes for. And he's now taken his new toy somewhere, probably somewhere on the floor. So I have to go chase that now. So yeah, other than that, so that's my plan. I think I'm gonna try see if I can film some of the tidying up. Maybe only at the end, maybe show you like the before and the after, because otherwise I'm gonna have to put my computer up somewhere where he can't get to it. He's by the window. What are you doing? Okay, so yeah, basically that was it today. Here it comes. Hello. You coming to say hello? Say hello, baby. There you go. Say hello. He's kind of upset. He wants his friends. He is so used to having the dogs around that when they're not, he cries the whole time. He doesn't leave. He's like a constant shadow. And the reason, okay, here's the reason he doesn't go to the farm with the dogs is because he's better off here. At the farm, other than my dogs, obviously there's the 2 other dogs, and he freaks out when there's 4 of them barking. And my mom's dogs and my dogs like to bark when they hear the tiniest little bit of noise, and sometimes it's like a whole morning of just barking dogs, and he totally freaks out. So that's one of the reasons he stays. That way he's just better off here. Also, he gets car sick. It's happened every single time he goes to the farm. He just gets car sick, and I don't want to put him through it unnecessarily. So he just stays home. He does stay home the whole day if I'm out the whole day, but he's fine. I have the living room. He has the living room to play in. He has the hallway if it gets too hot in the living room. He has the kitchen. He has the bathroom. The only areas I close off are the bedrooms, so the bedroom and the craft room. That's the only space I don't allow him to go into. Other than that, he has the run of the house, and he's fine. Because the weather has started becoming quite warm. I should add that yesterday was the 2nd year in a row that it was really nice and warm and sunny weather on my birthday. Usually it's pouring down with rain. It's like late spring, early summer, so rain can still fall, but usually it's like pouring down with rain or just really nasty day, and for 2 years in a row now it's been nice sunny weather, so I really appreciate that. I can like be outside and everything. So yeah. Although yesterday we were most of the day we were inside, but we did go outside a bit. So yeah, I'll go edit this now. I have a whole bunch of photos to edit from yesterday, and I still want to get some knitting done. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, and have a nice week. Bye.